as I was discussing on yesterday's broadcast about floods and flooding, and I made the distinction between a flash flood and just a regular flood. A flash flood is something where a pile of water will pile up. Sometimes it's because of a severe rain, and then it'll keep washing down the river or stream or whatever, and it's very destructive. But a flood is where water builds up over a process of time, and generally that's a rain that is not necessarily intense, but is steady for a long period of time. And of course it causes a main tributary to become overflown, and it starts backing everything else up, all the smaller rivers and smaller creeks and streams, and then next thing you know, you're surrounded by water. And I've seen it here in Leon County where I live. I drive past places sometimes where there are houses standing now that I remember when that field where that house is sitting now was flooded. But they call that like 100-year flood. Well, I talked about yesterday how that Isaiah talks about this in the book of Isaiah, chapter 59, where he talks about that the enemy comes in like a flood. And I believe that's right. That's how the enemy works. And of course, he's subtle. But one of the things that I know this, and I've read about it, and I've experienced it in my own life, is that somehow or another, the enemy, and when we talk about the enemy, we're just talking about the devil. He's able to ascertain our weaknesses, and he will take advantage and he will exploit our weaknesses. And let's face it, we all have them. And generally, we know what they are. Now, here's some good pastoral advice. If you know that you are vulnerable in a particular area, stay away from it. Now, that's just common sense to me, but it's also discipline. Just stay away from it. If there's something that has caused you to stray in the past and caused you to leave behind the spiritual pursuit that you normally would have, to want to build yourself up in your most holy presence, allowing the Holy Spirit to be alive and working in your life, but you found yourself becoming in a weakened state because you allowed yourself to focus on things that you know are things that attract you, and we have them. Those are our weaknesses. You have to say, no, not going to do that. And what I have discovered in my life, that if I push something away and I deny it long enough, that the intense desire for it will be subdued. I doubt that it ever really goes away, but it will become subdued. In other words, we bring it under control and subjection. But if we go and we put ourselves in a vulnerable situation where we're around something, exposed to it, we know we've had problems with that in the past, then you make yourself a target for the enemy, who's very subtle. Come in like a flood and begin to manifest that thing. Cause your areas of temptation to rise so that he can cause you to fail, thus defeat you. It's Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.